Hey, what's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday night. Crazy week in the world. Hope everybody's doing all right, staying safe out there. Tonight, I thought of an idea that I want to talk about. I want to talk about what a 90s graffiti writer, a 90s freight train graffiti writer, thinks about graffiti and particularly freight train graffiti nowadays. And, when a lot of older guys like me that've been writing a long time talk about graffiti nowadays, it's very like bitter and back in the day, all this stuff. And I, don't, I go down that road sometimes, but I don't really like to because um, graffiti is to me such an act of rebellion and such an act of releasing tension for me that um, I can't really talk shit about why people do it. It's very personal, just like what you eat is very personal. Sorry, but when I first started messing around on trains in probably 1993, 92, just tagging on them. And it wasn't until 96 when I actually started piecing on them. I remember thinking, wow, this is really cool. This is really secretive. Not many people are doing this. There's a lot of graffiti in the streets, but like the freights were pretty, so it felt pretty cool, but I remember as the years went by, 99, 2000, um, and I started painting with other people, I was like, we kind of foresaw this happening, whereas the saturation. And I mean, trains are awesome, and I think some people have a real love for them and kind of like a um, like historic way I do, like as far as they're very therapeutic, and some people just want to paint them, and I get either way, and I'm not hating on anybody's reason for painting, but um, you know, I think it was bound to happen, the saturation now, and sometimes it's a little discouraging. Um, Trying to find a clean panel and all that stuff, but they're awesome, and painting graffiti is fun, and it's a act of protest, and it's an act of rebellion, and it's not supposed to be some like serious thing, even though it is serious, and it's like something I've used my life for. So, but I've used it in my life as far as a release and escape from reality and escape from anxiety and release my tensions and just be creative. So I don't hate on anybody that's you know I think my definition of toy, whatever that word means, isn't has never been about style. It's never been about how good are you. It's been about your attitude. And if you're going out there and you're painting over numbers and black boxes and leaving your trash and making a mess and not checking what's going on underneath your what you're painting, if it's something old or something that came before you, then that's toy. It doesn't matter what you paint or what your shit looks like. It really doesn't. That doesn't. Personally, I don't care about that shit, because everybody's idea of what looks good is different. And that said, I am like more traditional writer. I do like, but I never really like somebody telling me what to paint, and what my stuff should look like. So I understand kids nowadays that don't want to do that. I think it is important to have some foundation though, and kind of like um, if you're doing something just to be ironic, just to like say "f you" to traditional graffiti, then I think that's kind of lame. But if you're doing it because you're just having fun and that's what you want to paint, then whatever, it's cool as long as you're like not heating shit up for other people, as long as you're not going over the numbers and going over old monikers and old pieces. So I think it's good and it's bound to happen, and I don't know what the future holds. Um, there's some signs out there. I think that railroad companies are getting a little sick of it. I don't want to really speak to, you know, why I think that. I just have some information about why I think that. And I don't know what's going to happen, but I think people should be careful and kind of, not be as, nonchalant like a lot of people are nowadays with painting. And kind of, be careful like always. So yeah, that's kind of my take. I think everybody out there that's having fun. And if we think of graffiti as an act of protest and a act of reclaiming what we think is private property, and when we understand that, have the belief, that our tax dollars go to so much evil shit in the world, and we're bombarded by advertisements and signs and things every day. And as long as you're not painting on somebody's car or house or church or cemetery, or personally, like mom and pop businesses, I don't like doing that. Then what are you really doing? I mean, it's concrete, and I think trains the same way. So, um, but so so just like, long story short, my conclusion is, I think whatever the scene of freight train graffiti now was inevitable. It was going to happen. I 25 years ago would talk to my crewmates about it happening. You like the Ick shirt? Shout out to Brick and Metal. They made an Ick shirt from Ick's design. But anyway, yeah, talking to Ick, talking to everybody, we knew it was going to blow up. We took advantage of it being chill when it was, as far as having as many panels as we wanted, and having a little kind of secret scene that we thought was a secret scene. But we knew it was going to happen, and that's okay. And I think as long as you're being, respectful of the rails, respectful of the people who came before you, if you're doing a big cloud over something, we know what you're doing, like you're covering something up. And if you're trying to be sneaky, you're not. So, like, just watch what you go over. There's a lot of history out there, that should be preserved. It's going to go away eventually, yeah, but why would you be the one to make it be gone over? So I just hope people stay safe, respect the rails, respect the old monikers, respect the old pieces, and have fun and be safe and create memories, because that's what it's about. When you get 50 like me, near 50, you kind of realize that it was about all the memories and all the times you had and the stories you can tell. And you're not going to have those if you're dumb and you kind of blow stuff up and kind of don't respect things. So go do you is what I'm saying. Go have fun. You gotta also pay attention to what scene you're in. Some places are open seasons. Some places you got to check in with certain crews and certain people what you're paying. So it depends. Read the room. So yeah, if you have any questions, leave a comment. That's my take. I'm pretty chill about it. That said, I don't really pay attention to a lot of what's going on the rail. I see a bench and I see everything filled up, but I think it's really hard to discern between different names nowadays. And I think that sucks for kids that are trying to make a name for themselves in the freights, because I think everything's kind of blurred out and you only really notice names that you already know or stuff. And honestly, if I was like starting painting graffiti now or in the last couple of years, I probably wouldn't even do that many trains. I would probably rather gravitate to my city, or doing spots, doing nice pieces in spots, because I think people just look at that trains now and it's almost like a big like hodgepodge mess. Like it's really hard to read stuff. And you can post your pics on the internet right after you paint them and all that stuff. To me, that's kind of weak. I don't know why people do that. Like, why wouldn't you want your freight benched and then somebody else post it and you could be like, oh crap. But like painting something and then a day later or an hour later posting it, it's like, ugh. I've always thought that was kind of cringe. I've never been into that. That's just my opinion. I always was like, oh, it'd be really cool if somebody saw this. And, back in the day, it was like somebody saw it and called me up on the phone and said they saw it. Or they posted it on Train Spotting on 12 ounce, where it was just your name. And if you saw your name, you were like, oh, shit. So, I think it's cool when you keep it secret and somebody else sees it and they put it on there, because that really shows that you're up and other people are seeing your work and posting it. And, shout out to all the benchers out there that are just, just taking photos and posting stuff. I think it's really cool. Um, as long as you're respecting the spots too. We used to call it stamp licking when you send all your photos to magazines, and thought that was lame. And I think it's kind of like internet stamp licking now, where you just like post your flicks like automatically. Like I don't personally. I think it's kind of lame, but whatever. People do what they got to do, and I get it. At least wait a few months or something. I don't know. It's just like what is this? What is this desire to get like likes and all this stuff? I don't get. There's no depth in it. It's just I think, and then people like just kind of skim over it too. It's like, oh, cool, whatever. But when you see it in person, it's just way more personal. And then if you see somebody caught it in a different state and they post it on the internet, it's like, whoa, crazy. It just feels, if you try it out and you try to do that, it just feels a lot better. So if you're posting a lot of your, your new freight head in the last 5, 6, 7, 10 years, and you're posting a lot of your shit, like, I don't know, I just try to see what happens when people flick your stuff and post it, and see how that feels. It feels a lot better. That's what I think. And this is all my opinion. I don't know. I don't know everything. I don't know. I'm just some fucking old dude who's been painting a long time and knows a lot of writers and been around. So that's all I know. But nothing I say is the truth, the dogma. I don't know. It's just what my own truth is, and I respect everybody's process, everybody's path. And this was bound to happen. We'll see what the future unholds. Hopefully, everyone's being safe out there, respecting the rails, respecting the old stuff, and yeah, that's about it. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think. All right, guys, peace. Enjoy life.